welcome back to my channel. My name is Cheryl Grabowski, and this is a mukbang show, technically. But recently, as it has evolved into more of a talk show. So from here on out, guys, I will be separating the food from the talks. Okay, because there are some people who were here initially who very much are into watching the food show. Because me, myself, I'm super fond of the food shows. Like, I love mukbangs, okay? As y'all saw in the caption, oh, first of all, when you come in, please thumbs up the video, okay? And consider subscribing to the channel. I call this the deep lane, and I've named you guys and pinned you guys as the deep laners because we deal with topics that matter to me, in my opinion, and I think in your opinion too, because you've decided to subscribe to the channel. So my house is quieted and the grandbaby is asleep, and we're going to talk tonight. But I want to address a couple of things that has been recently happening here on my channel. Did I say my name is Cheryl Grabowski? Because for some people, that Grabowski get on their nerves. But anyway, we'll talk more about that. But let me deal with this. As you saw in the caption, my life changed in the coffee shop. And I want to tell y'all exactly like how it changed. So we're going to get into the story. But before I do that, I want to deal with a couple of things like a review of some of the things that's been happening here on the channel. And so one of the things that has been happening is that you all found out that I am a survivor of narcissistic abuse. And one thing that I found out from you guys is that I have a pleasant sounding voice. And you all, many of you all have commented and said that my voice is soothing. And that's something I didn't even recognize myself. So thank you, because it's important to have a really nice voice. Okay. Wink, wink. Okay, let me get back to business. So part of the review that I'm doing today has to do with some comments that I've seen in the comment section. Another one, somebody said that my judgments are off the charts, that they don't understand some of my judgments. So I just took the time to go. Generally, we get our idea of the word judgment technically from the Bible, right? And somebody told us along the way that we were not supposed to judge. Okay? But you know, when we were told that, we were like children. And so now I'm 52, like we're adults. So when I was 10 years old, I thought like a 10-year-old because I couldn't make appropriate assessments. And my discernment hadn't quite kicked in, but now I'm an adult. And the reality is, for you guys who said that, I think the lady's name is Rains in the comments section. But for you who said that we judge every day, all day. Okay? We even have a court system and they judge, you know. Their name, the person that's sitting behind the desk with the robe on, he's titled or she's titled judge. And then we judge day by day, like all of us do, all humans. Let me read the definition for it for you. One second. Okay, judgment. It means the ability to make considered decisions, to come to a sensible conclusion about something. To be able to come to a sensible conclusion about something or someone. Okay. Now, the one that we are most familiar with is the one that has something to do with divine judgment. You know, the idea of God judging humans. I think that's the one that y'all be talking about. But the one that I do is to be able to make a sensible conclusion about a person or a thing. Yeah, we do that. We do it every day, all day. So don't say nothing else about nobody judging nothing, because that's what we do. Now, there's a difference between the reality and see, that's the lane I live in. I live in that lane. You know, I've taken the time out to think about a lot of things, you know what I mean? And we judge day by day. So get used to it and find a place inside of yourself where it's normal. You know what I mean? Because the reality is that we make a sensible assessments about everything day by day, which is basically an observation. Hold on for 1 minute. So that's what I want to say about that. Okay? So we judge. We judge. And it's not a bad thing. No. It's not. It's just the way that sometimes you can look at it. Don't you judge me. That's what we say. Meanwhile, you judging me for judging you. Right? When the reality of it is that we make assessments about each other day by day, not only about each other, but situations and different things. That's what makes us an adult. Okay? So get used to the idea that you're being judged and then try to get comfortable with it, you know, as far as it concerns your emotion, the way that you feel about being judged. You know what I mean? Some of you all would go as far as to say, girl, I don't care if people talk about me. But the reality of it is that you do care. But the thing is, you want to be mindful that whatever they say about you, if you don't like what they're saying, then make sure it's not true. That's important. But y'all, my life changed at the coffee shop. Now, you know, we don't beat around the bush over here because y'all are the deep laners and this is the deep lane. And we're here being deep with Cheryl Grabowski, which is me, okay? Okay, so my life changed at the coffee shop. And I'm going to tell you how. So about 3 years ago, I got an invitation to the coffee shop. And I'm not going to say who invited me there. Some people who know me personally, and they know who. But Lord, my grandbaby done woke up. Y'all here? It's in the middle of the night. So we're going to keep on going. So I got an invitation to the coffee shop. And in good faith, I went on to the coffee shop because this person that invited me is a person that I've been knowing all my life. And I love the person, right? And me and the person had been having some ups and downs, and that pretty much have been all my life as well. So this person decided, okay, I'm going to invite you to the coffee shop. And in good faith, you know, because if you can straighten out a situation, then why not? And I love the person enough to go to the coffee shop. So I went. And I sat down. We sat down across from each other on a sunny day. And we had, no, the person was there. She was there. I think she got there before I did. And she had her coffee. And then I went to the counter and got my coffee. And I saw her sun shining through the window. Beautiful winter day. Sun shining bright, but it was cold. And I got my coffee and I sat across from her. And we smiled at each other casually. And then she said to me, so how do you think, I mean, almost immediately, so how do you think your life is going? She said to me. And I said, you know, my life is fine. And as I got the F-I out before the N-E, As I look at her across the table, she starts to shake her head like that down. And I'm looking, and I imagine my eyes opened, because that's how my eyes do when I'm totally engaged with something or with someone. And she said, no, it's not. She said, you're not happy. I said, I am. She said, no, you're not. She said, you think people like you, but they don't. I looked, and I literally did that. And then she said, I'm not happy. She said, I don't have a good life. She said, people don't like me. And I think she said, I think she said something pertaining to my marriage with my second husband. And it was just something about those things that she said. She said them right away. It almost like I swallowed the words, and they went down my throat into my belly, and it landed there, and it was heavy. I was startled to the point where I didn't have much to say after that. We made some small talk. I don't know if she knew how the words impacted me, but I'm telling you guys what it felt like in my ears, in my mind, and in my body. So by the time I got to the car and drove away, there was a delayed response. I don't know about y'all, but that's how it works with me. Even though I knew that I was bothered, but I had at the time, I'm in the car, I'm driving away, but I hadn't received the full impact of the words, right? But I know that I felt different from what she said. And so here on my channel, I'm not a therapist or a psychiatrist, but I'm a woman who's gone through some things, and I came to a place in my life where I feel like I pure had a whole train wreck. And these are the things that I'll talk to you guys about, right? And then sometimes I'll make mention of some of the things that are going here on YouTube that I recognize what it is. And because it looks and feels like some things that I know. And over the last 3 to 4 years, I've been in process of aligning everything in me to the reality of what I say about my life. So I leave and I drive home, and my stomach starts churning. Okay. And then after that, I'm getting upset, like, how dare you? Because the person is somebody, like I told y'all, I've been knowing all my life. And I didn't think her life was fantastic, but it wasn't about her. It was about me, right? So I began to get so angry. By the end of the day, I would go to Facebook, hit live, and let it rip. Just let it rip. I was so mad. I was so angry at how dare you come here and pretty much say that my marriage won't no good, that I wasn't happy, that my life wasn't going good and that people really don't like me. How could you say that? How? And I got on Facebook and I hit live. And back in those days, I'd done lives. People knew me for doing lives at that time, because I would say, this is my truth. I'm being honest and I'm being transparent. That's what I used to say back then. Yeah, that's what I used to do. And I thought back in those days that because I had gone through some things in my life and people that I loved had mistreated me greatly, that's how I processed it in my mind, and that I had a right to speak my truth. That's what I used to do on Facebook. And I had an audience. Yeah, absolutely. They were there. And they were there for the tea, and they were there for all the emotions and the anger and what I call the venom. What I call now the toxicity, sharing my toxic vibes. Yeah. Infecting other people with my shit. And also receiving comfort from the social media, because they were there to say, oh, Cheryl, poor thing, or oh, that resonates with me, or I've been through that, but I'm praying for you and I hope that you get better. I was there for all of that. I was there for all of that. While spewing my venom all over everybody. That's what I used to do, y'all. And I got on there and I would rip. I just would let it rip. The people that offended me, the ones that I felt like had wronged me, I was there to tear them apart. I had the intensity. I had the anger. I had the words. I had those toxic emotions, and I was gonna let everybody know. I didn't matter who. It didn't matter who it was. It didn't matter. My mother, my sister, whoever, my ex-husband, I just let them have it, because you had wronged me. You had made me feel terrible. You had did things to me that you had no business doing. And they were at the time, they were continuing to do it. And I'm a good person. I consider myself to have a good heart. How dare you? That's what I was doing back then. And I had a group of people who were there to validate me and support me. They were there. And so after I did the live, those lives, I did more than one. And I had everybody on alert. I had my family on alert. And then shortly thereafter, maybe 3 months later, my second husband said to me one night, I left off, I did a makeup live. Yeah, because I do makeup too. I did a makeup live and I came into the bedroom, because after I finished doing the makeup live and we were here alone because the children were gone, we were empty nesters. Yeah, just he and I. My daughter and the grandbaby had moved out. My sons were gone. It's just he and I. We'd been in the house together as empty nesters for a while, maybe like 8 months. And I said to him, he was laid across the bed on his back, watching television. The television is mounted, same television that's up there now. And I said to him, I said, what can we do to spice up our marriage? Like what can we do? Should we start taking trips? Let's do a list of pros and cons. Let's do a list. And he said to me, as I look at him and his expression went totally blank. And he says, I'm done. I said, what do you mean? He says, I'm done. I remember the emotions that I felt at that time. It was kind of similar to what I felt at the coffee shop. It's the same kind of feeling. It just hit way deep down inside of me. To the point it almost felt like I was dying in a sense. And I said, what do you mean? Because he and I had just had a conversation about 30 days before that, maybe 40, because I was feeling some things. And I said, you know, we need to fix some stuff, you know? We need to work on our marriage. And he said, well, you're my everything. You and the grandbaby, y'all are my life. You're my everything. Without you guys, I would be nothing. So then that feeling that I had, it subsided because his words convinced me that things were okay, but things were not okay. You know, because sometimes we could say things here, but down there, you know, we talk about the different layers and us being in the deep lane. Down there, there's something else going on. You know, but that was the feeling that I had. But at that time, I couldn't trust my intuition. I couldn't trust it. I hadn't been trusting it all my life. But anyway, getting back to what happened with me and my husband. So there I was with the coffee shop situation. And now my husband telling me it's over. He had no, he was just flat done. And in my emotional world, there was a tsunami of pain. Okay? Because I had so many things, so many parts of me, so many wounds that were there from my childhood that had never been addressed. And the situation at the coffee shop and my husband doing what he did here in the house that day ripped every piece of scab that my life had given me. It ripped it off. And there I was, raw, infected, and bleeding emotionally for what was going on in my life. So I was hurt, to say the least. And then he went on to say, because at the time when I look back, part of me believed it and then part of me didn't. So can we fix it? And we certainly couldn't fix it. Hold on for y'all 1 second.